Hey there! So in this video we'll take a quick look at Chira, which is reachable through agila.dc.de and is the software with which we track our bugs and feature requests and everything related to things not being as we wish on the software. So again, you log in with your DC credentials. And you're welcomed by a dashboard, which again might look differently for you. And we find some of the buttons that we already know from Stash. So again, there's projects, and we can click on View All. And you probably want to navigate to the Bell2 software. Which is not shown, that's weird. And it's actually several pages, so you have to search for it perhaps. Right. So once we click there, we basically get a giant table with all the open issues, and can already see from this large scroll down and multiple pages that those are really a lot. So one thing you can do, of course, is to just search for something. So let's say you have an error message and it contains the word P2 fatal, which means it's a bad error message. And the program died after that. And now we search for it and we see a lot of bug reports mentioning P2 fatal. Well, the first one is already selected. And we see a description here. There's a priority. It's a task, so it can also be a bug or a feature request and so on. Someone is assigned here, so there's the person who's designated to work on it, and someone else was the one reporting this issue. And you see a couple of dates, and there's comments down there. You could also put a comment down there yourself. And you also see a status, which is closed. So this means the you also see the resolution here. It's marked as done. So whatever was requested here is being fixed now. And if you go back to this search panel here, you can also filter by the status. So if it's a bug that's affecting you, for example, then probably you only want to search for things which are open, so they are unaddressed yet, which already limits our number of hits by quite a bit. And you could also filter by assignee. So for example, if you have some ticket assigned to yourself, so you're made the responsible one for fixing that, you could, for example, filter all the things that you're supposed to do. So like this. So that's the first thing, that's browsing issues that are already existing. The other thing is, and perhaps that's more relevant when you're starting out, creating an issue by yourself. For that, there's this big create button up here, and we just click it. You select the project, which probably will always be Bell2 software if you're following the first steps. You select the issue type, so for example, a bug, and you add something here, like something is not working. If it's very important, then you set it to major or critical. You add a component, so that's a bit more tricky. If you're not familiar with where things go wrong. So you can see that there's more than 40 different options here. So this is referring to the different packages of the Bell2 software. So if we go back to Stash, and I'll have to relog in here. Oh no. And we go to the software repository, you see this initial list of folders which correspond to the packages. So depending on where the source of this issue is, you should select the correct component if you know that. So for now, let's just put one for documentation training. So those are for issues with the documentation. And we write something in the description. You can also put in your release version here. So you're probably working on something release 5 or later. And you can assign it to someone. So if you know who's responsible for this bug of yours, you can directly assign them by typing them. So for example, like this. Or if you're just submitting a ticket as for your own to-do list, you can also assign it to yourself. So that's what I'm going to do here. Yeah, and then we click on create, and we get this small pop-up here in the top right corner. And okay, you should directly click on it, because else now you have to search for the issue that you just created. But in that case, you can also just click on this issue button up here, and you get your most recent issues that you browsed. So this one here is the one we just did. So you're being brought to this screen here. You see that it's an open bug, which is important and affects the latest release, and is for the training documentation component. And you can also comment here, and you can add watchers. So if you want to make someone aware of this issue, you can just add them like this. And yeah, that's basically it. So if you're working on this yourself, actually, then these buttons, start progress or the done button, might be more important for you. So once you fix everything, you can simply click here on done and select the resolution. So that could be that cannot reproduce, which means that whatever happened there, you don't know what went wrong, so you can't fix it, or you don't want to fix it for whatever reason. Maybe it's not a bug, maybe it's a feature, and so on. So for now, we'll just go on won't do, click on done, and this bug is marked as closed. And that's it. So thanks for joining me here.